You won't fucking believe this. Can you remember when you did the customs hours one New Year, like a last minute thing?
Yeah.
I had tickets, right? This is a blow your mind, this. And I couldn't come because I had to have surgery on my arsehole. No shit.
Is that not full body surgery?
Check this out. I had to have Botox in my arsehole.
Wow. Was it getting wrinkly?
No.
What were you doing? Did you squat over a mirror and thought that looks like a 60-year-old's arsehole?
No, I had what's called the fucking anal fish out. Basically, I tore my arsehole straight into hard.
Really?
And it was supposed to happen on Christmas Eve, and they moved it.
Well, the arsehole tear. The surgery.
The Botox,
right.
The Botox.
Wow.
So I couldn't come to your show on New Year's Eve because I was sitting on a rubber ring. Welcome to another episode of Paul Mort Talks Shit. And today, I'm talking shit with Mr.
I've been saying that for years.
I mean, that's what I brought about. Today, I'm talking shit with Mr. Chris Ramsey. Chris, how are you?
Hello, I'm buzzing to be here. I'm slightly jealous of your setup. These mics are fantastic.
Mate, they're all right,
come off like them arms that make Lamborghinis. I'm loving it. Well done. Very well done.
Mate, I love it. So for you guys that are watching in, I remember meeting Chris back in, mate, that was a long time ago. About
so long.
9 years ago, maybe.
Probably
yeah,
about
9 years
yeah.
ago. I saw a video of him in the fucking in some comedy store thing, a Hyena Cafe or something.
Yeah, what
Billy
would
Bone
it have
posted it.
Yeah. When I was first starting out,
2011, 2010?
Must have been. Yeah.
2010,
like that.
And then it turns out I'd known Chris's dad for a while, which is mad. And then Chris came and did a half-hour set for about 20 of my clients.
It's one of the main reasons I'm here today doing your podcast, actually, is because you were the first person to give me a proper paid corporate gig.
Is it?
That was my first paid corporate gig.
Mad.
Yeah,
that is.
I played it cool at the time, but the money you gave me that day was one of the biggest. It was one of the biggest paydays I'd had.
Were you still a student at the time?
No, I'd packed in being a student and then I'd started stand-up. And I think I'd just moved to Manchester to sort of follow it. I hadn't done any telly or anything like that. And yeah, you got in touch, and I remember saying to me, I think I said to my dad and my cousin, I was like, "Who's Paul Mort?" And they both knew you.
I can't believe you didn't know who I was, to be fair.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Travesty, mate. Absolute travesty. Here I am sitting, getting microphone envy now. I feel like an absolute idiot. So it was just... I remember doing it. It was the dunes in South Shields. It was up above in the thing, and there was. I remember you had sandwiches and you had everything on.
My lass was like 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
My lass was like 7 months pregnant. Mad, mate, you've come a long way since then.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It is mad.
It's crazy.
So let's get on to the first thing, which I wanted to ask you about, which is this book, mate. For you guys that can't see that, listening on Apple or Spotify, look at this.
Yeah,
I didn't wait until your book came out half price. And I didn't even notice it until I put it on there, which is mad. Mate, I went into WH Smith. There was only about 3 books on the fucking shelf, but yours was number 1, mate, so well played.
Really? Well, we got, mate, believe it or not, we got Sunday Times #1 bestseller.
That's fucking amazing.
In the first week it came out.
That's amazing.
And we're up against Ant and Dec as well, which...
That was another one, Well,
we never thought. I mean, we found out, so we're writing the book. We had to write it during lockdown, basically. Hey,
let me ask you a question. Did you write it, though?
Yeah, 100%. Me and Rosie, 100 million % wrote every single word in that book.
Mate, that's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, 100 million % every single word. And it was the first time anything I've done has felt like actual graft, like actual proper work. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
I feel like I'm stealing a living. I turned up at the Dunes a few years ago, do a gig for you. I go on telly, I fuck about on Celebrity Juice and panel shows, and I go on Strictly and I have a dance. And this... I mean, don't get us wrong, Strictly felt like work, but this book felt like actual graft. Me and Rosie, laptops open, she's in one room, I'm in the other, we're shouting through at each other.
Mate, isn't it hard?
Mate, there was some laptop slamming, storming out of the room. Yeah. It was work, right? So basically what happened, I'll try not to be too long-winded.
I was going to ask you this. I was going to ask you what happened, like how did it come about? So
we got offered the book deal, so the podcast is gone crazy. We can't literally believe how well the podcast is done. And people say, how do you do it? What's the secret? We've got no idea. We finish a podcast recording and we both go, is that all right? And she'll go, I think so.
Oh, yes, Rosie taking the piss out of you.
Well, you know, she's been taking it for years. It's about time she gives it back. But we just think, was it good? Was it not? We don't know. We don't know. And the only way I'm digressing again here, but you know South Park? Yeah. There's a documentary about South Park called 6 Days to Air. Now, it was when they were doing them topically, and they were banging them out every 6 days. Yeah. And at the end, one of them, I always get them mixed up with Trey Parker and Matt Stone at the end of the episode, one of them, the guy who's okay, who's happy with what they've made, says to the camera, go and talk to him now. He does this every week. And every week, after every episode, he was like, well, that's the worst piece of shit we've ever made.
Really?
That's what he says. Yeah. And after a few days, he likes it. We're the same with the podcast. We record it and we go, well, that was fucking shit, wasn't it? And then a couple of days later, we're here. And then it's gone gangbusters. The podcast is crazy, and then Penguin offered a book deal, and we literally laughed in their faces. Like we're like, fucking book deal, shut up, man. Like what? No.
Yeah.
And then when management were like, no, they want you to do a book deal. They want you to do a book. And we're like, oh fuck. Got offered it. I was in Strictly, no time to do it.
Oh shit! It was that long ago. Because that was quite when was Strictly?
Last year.
Was it?
But last year, August, I started Strictly. Start all the prep for it now.
Yeah.
So last sort of year, we got offered it. Then we signed up to it. I'm at Strictly day in day out, working my arse off, dancing like an idiot, full days. Best training. I mean, I've done all about gym and unbelievable. I could eat anything I wanted, and I was shredded every single day.
Really?
It was nuts. And I stopped the dancing, and it went like. Instantly gone.
Really?
Yeah, like just straight away, like bloat, fat, just gone back.
Yeah.
But so Rosie's at home going, look, we need to do this book, and we're just arguing constantly because she's like, we need to do the book. I'm like, I can't, I'm fucking dancing, I can't.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get kicked out of Strictly to get, not trying.
Mate, honestly, I thought you must have had a ghostwriter.
Mate, I swear to God, no way.
Mate, that's amazing.
I had someone on the Chris Ramsey show on Comedy Central when I did it. Well, I had a lad, I'm not going to dig him out, but I had a lad on who was, like what do you call it, like a reality TV guy.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, I've got a book. He's like, I'm working with a ghostwriter. And I was like, you're not supposed to say that like on telly. And he was like, what? And so I had to cut it out of the show, but I would never have done that. So again, long story short.
Mate, also imagine being a ghostwriter for someone from South Shields. Like when they're fucking interviewing you and that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like I have to slow down how fast you talk? Are you talking twice as fast as you normally do right now? Because you're talking
a little bit faster because I'm talking to you. I'll slow it down. And I'm trying to get through this boring, long-winded story. But basically, lockdown happened is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And the book fucking was still needed to be written. Most of it still needed to be written in lockdown. Yeah. And it was hard. Really, really hard.
What do you think's the hardest part of it?
Deciding what to write.
Really? Do you know what my hardest part was?
Yeah. You don't give a fuck about that mic, do you?
I'm not even using it. It's just there for show, look. I'm not even using it because I can't, like, I'm just using this thing.
Yeah.
He goes off in about the mic. So it's just fun to play with, you know what I mean? It's fun to play. Welcome to being a dad, Mac.
I like it.
But I think the hardest part is there's nobody giving you a round of applause. Do you know, like, if you make a post on social media, people laugh. There's no one laughing when you're fucking... For me, it felt like I was in Fritzl's basement.
Yeah, wow.
I was just sitting there and no one's clapping you.
Yeah.
And when you do send it to somebody to look at, all you get is criticism. Like, that's not... You need to change this, you need to change that. I'm like... You couldn't have told us it was good.
I would agree. I would agree with exactly what you said there, but also the planning what to write, and deciding what to go and sitting there with a blank page. And it's the same with stand up. It's the same with the podcast.
Yeah.
It's the same with the book. And again, to quote this South Park thing again, right? I love Lego, and I didn't know why I loved Lego until I watched this South Park documentary, 6 Days to Air, like I say. And the same one again. I don't know the difference. Trey Parker and Matt Stone. The same one who says that's a piece of shit. He loves Lego, and he explains why he loves it, and he goes, because with writing comedy, there's no path, there's no A to B. Yeah. It's blank page, and whatever you can go any route with what you're going to say, and there's no plan, there's no map. Yeah. But with Lego, there's a little bit of paper going, put that bit there.
Do you know how I know you love Lego? Every time I go out to the shops and I see the Millennium Falcon, I tell the kids Chris Ramsey's got that. I do. Maybe seen how much it is.
Still in the book.
Well, obviously now.
Still in the loft, sorry, still in the box.
What, you haven't built it?
I haven't built it. I've got no fucking room for it. You seen the size of it? And then I went, and I spoke to Johnny Vegas at some gig I was at, obviously when gigs were still allowed. And Johnny Vegas was like, oh, I've got mine. And what I've done is I've sunk it into a glass coffee table. So it's in a glass coffee table.
Has you got kids?
Well, I turned to Rosie and I went, Rosie, and she went, not a chance. She literally, before I even got it out, she overheard, she went, not a chance. There's no way you're doing that.
Me, we got the Stranger Things kid during lockdown because we built one Harry Potter thing.
Yeah.
The kids loved it.
Yeah.
Actually, my son doesn't like. He said it takes too long. Dad, I don't like Lego. It takes too long.
Yeah.
My daughter loves it.
Kids, the little ones.
You think? Yeah. My daughter loves it. She's younger. She proper buzzes on it. But we haven't even opened the Stranger Things. Because where do you put it?
It's fucking epic.
Haven't you got a Lego room or some shit?
I've got an office with a shelf that's like 1/2 meter deep, and it's the full length of the wall, so it's like 3 or 4 meters long. And I got it plastered in. It's like sort of thingy to the wall, and then it's like plastered.
Oh yeah.
So it's like a sunken shelf kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's full of it. Then I've got every other surface. I've literally, no word of a lie, from Amazon today, I've got a extra long Ethernet cable coming so I can move my router to a different part of the office so I can put some Lego where the router is. because I got the roller coaster, the Lego roller coaster, and I put it next to me router, and my router was like, "Fuck you doing?" It just stopped.
Really?
Working. Well, the router was like, "What you doing? Like you've just covered us over," so it stopped working.
Wow.
But the hardest part of writing the book, like I said,
dude, well played for bringing it back to that, because I totally forgot about the question.
I'm all right. Well, I remember years ago I watched a Billy Connolly DVD and he never resolved a story at the end, and I love him to death. I think he's the greatest comedian.
But he didn't close the loop.
He didn't close the thing, and it really upset us. Like, it really upset us. So I always like to close the loop. But yeah, the hardest bit of writing the book was that. But it's hard writing it with
someone else as well.
With your wife as well. Do you know what I mean? We're going to one room, we're writing a book, then we'll come to another room where job is a child during lockdown.
Yeah.
But back to my original point that I was going to say, when we found out Ant and Dec's book was out on the same day as ours, we gave up hope.
Yeah.
We gave up hope at being the best sellers. There's a line in the book that says this will never be a Sunday Times bestseller.
Yeah.
And we got number one. It's crazy.
That is insane.
And now it's half price.
Well, it was in W.H. Smith, which has got a feeling W.H. Smith is going the fucking journey.
They've had a fucking nightmare with our book.
Have they?
They've had a nightmare.
Shit, I seen it. What happened again?
They cancelled a load of people's orders on the way in. They cancelled just on the pre-orders. Loads of people got emails saying orders are cancelled, and I got all this shit one morning on Twitter. People were not nice, they weren't horrible, but they're like, "Why has this happened?" And I'm like, "You got to understand, I'm the author, not the fucking distributor." Do you know what I mean? I don't work for W.H. Smith's office.
I don't post them out.
Yeah. I'm not W.H. Smith. And then some people got the Ant and Dec book instead of ours. Which I thought was hilarious.
Really?
Oh, I thought it was really funny.
Hang on, one, they cancelled all the orders. I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
And the second one is they ordered yours and they sent them the Ant and Dec one.
Yeah. I was tweets off people going, "Look, I really like Ant and Dec, but I didn't order it." And I was like, "Oh my God, I don't know." But I remember telling my mum.
It's not Penguin.
My mum thought it was Penguin as well. She was like, "I've got a classic mum." She was like, "I've got a good mind to email Penguin and tell them I'm fuming." I'm like, "It's got nothing to do with them." But,
I love it, mate. So the book came about as a result of the fucking podcast, which has obviously blown up. Whose idea was the podcast? Yours?
Rosie's.
Was it?
I've always got to tell everyone it's Rosie's. I have to tell her. There's a lot of things in life and in my career.
What was that conversation?
Literally her, we should do a podcast. Me, no. We should, no. We should do a podcast. Why? They're massive, Chris. You don't listen to them. I listen to them. Yeah. Oh, for fuck's sake. Should we not do a video or something?
What was she into? My Dad Wrote a Porno or something?
She likes them lot. Yeah, she loves My Dad Wrote Porno. She's true crime in that, man.
Lesley's true crime. It doesn't me fucking
every time I walk into our dressing room, I'll be taking some washing up or something in the room in the house, and I walk in, and we're talking 8 a.m, and I just hear some American bloke going, "And the body was dismembered." I'm like, "Fucking get me back out of this room."
Mate, aye.
Jesus.
It's not about women now.
I was just listening to people getting chopped up in that. Psycho?
So to listen to their true crime podcast, and then you're like, "Let's start one."
Yeah.
And that was...
So the genesis of the podcast
What was the plan with the podcast? Was it just to fill some time in lockdown or something, or was it?
Well, listen to this, right? I'll kind of get a bit sad on you as well. I'll tell you the full story. So first of all, it's happy because I was doing Chris Ramsey show for Comedy Central.
Yeah.
And I did Facebook Lives to advertise it.
Yeah.
And Rosie was heckling us on my Facebook Lives. It's the best way to describe it. I would sit for an hour and I would answer people's questions, and she'd sit with a wine just having a go at us.
Yeah.
And she had one line. What she said, man? She said this joke. And it was something... I don't know what it was. Someone asked something about fingering or something in the thing, just being rude. And she said something like, "Did you never have a girl at school who everyone fingered? So her nickname was Pocahontas." That's what Rosie said, and I'd never heard that, and I was buckled, and everyone, like the Facebook live feed was like boom, boom, boom. Everyone was going off.
Really?
So then she started joining us on the Facebook lives. Right. And then I said, "Look, we should do Facebook Live." She was like, "Well, you can't really do anything like money-wise. You can't really monetize a Facebook Live. You can't really turn it into like a career or a revenue stream." And I was like, "Right." And then I said, "Well, YouTube." And then she said, "Look, let's do a podcast." And she had to talk us into it for ages.
Yeah.
No word of a lie, right? We bought all of the stuff.
Yeah.
We got all of the stuff set up. We did had we announced we're going to do one? I don't think we'd announced it. We're going to do the pilot for it.
Are you just shooting from home, man?
Yeah.
In the kitchen or something?
Yeah, in the kitchen. We're going to do the pilot for it, right? And we got back. We went. It was a year and a half ago. Yeah, just over. We went to the hospital for a 20-week scan.
Yeah.
And we found out it was a miscarriage.
Yeah.
And that she'd lost the baby. And we came back, and the podcast equipment was set up. And we were going to make it about we're going to have another kid. That's going to be the first thing we said on the podcast. Yeah. And I just put all the podcast stuff in the box, and then it was literally like 6 months or something, or four months until we actually did it again. Then we did it again and started, and that was that. It's crazy. So literally, sorry to bring the mood down, but that was... I'll never forget the fact that we're literally about to do it, and then we found out about miscarriage, and we'll come back, and then it was like...
But didn't talking about it helped Rosie a lot though, right?
Hugely.
Yeah.
She sat and she ummed and ahed about shit.
And mate, it would have affected that. Her talking about that, kind of like me with the mental health stuff as well, has probably helped fucking, in her case, hundreds of thousands of people.
Hundreds of thousands. We still get messages about it now. Yeah. And she didn't know what she was sitting. Obviously, she was devastated. Took me, I was, like a bloke, I was devastated in stages.
Yes. It's totally different for us though, isn't it?
So strange.
Yeah.
Well, it's not real until... We went for a scan the other day around the corner, and I'd never seen a 4D scan before, and I could see the baby moving its fingers and opening its mouth and stuff. And
it's wild, isn't it?
I couldn't fucking believe it. So it feels super real. Because she's pregnant now, we've got a baby on the way.
Yeah.
But
when's it due?
January, right at the beginning of January. But this is how much I keep forgetting about. The other day, my mate was on the phone going, "What are you doing for New Year?" He was like, "We're going to get a house somewhere for New Year." I was like, "Aye, class, aye." And I turned to Rosie and she was looking at us. I went, "Oh, fuck no. Hold on, she's due literally New Year. We can't go." Mate, she was like, "Thanks for that."
See, has one for you. You won't fucking believe this. Can you remember when you did the customs hours one New Year? Like a last minute thing?
Yeah.
I take it, right? This is a blow your mind, this. And I couldn't come because I had to have surgery on my arsehole. No shit.
Is that not full body surgery?
Check this out. I had to have Botox in my arsehole.
Wow. Was it getting wrinkly?
No.
What were you doing? Did you squat over a mirror and thought that looks like a 60-year-old's arsehole?
No, I had what's called the fucking anal fish out. Basically, I torn my arsehole straight too hard.
Really?
And it was supposed to happen on Christmas Eve, and they moved it.
The arsehole tear. The surgery.
The Botox,
right.
The Botox. Wow. So I couldn't come to your show on New Year's Eve because I was sitting on a rubber ring.
Wow.
There you go.
For what? So what did the Botox do?
Well, think about this. If you got a tear in your arsehole, it's like a cut. But it can't heal because every morning you take a shit. Yeah. So, mate, the pain was insane because it was...
So we're talking about a big tear. Because everyone's wiped and seen a bit of blood and thought, oops, and then thought, oh no, it's fresh. Googled it, fresh blood, means you pushed too hard, don't do it again.
No, like really brutal pain. Like sweating, weeks off work and that because I couldn't walk properly in there.
I've had the sweats, I've had the sweats, yeah. So I went
from a rock hard turd.
Well, shout out Anya Sol, but sometimes it's not good enough. You have to get a different one. Yeah. I got a different one. I remember when Rosie was pregnant, I think she had some kind of pile problem, and I got these they were like golden bullets. From Was
it Prep H or something? Preparation H.
It might have been. Like that, but they were the
or was Germaloid as well. Not that I've tried all the fucking.
I was going to say, Jesus Christ.
I'm the connoisseur.
Your medicine cabinet's just a massive suitcase full of bullets. Like a sniper.
Connoisseur of the bottle, like a sniper.
Putting a gun together.
Shit, mate. Mate, I'm mad that though that I missed your show.
That's bizarre. That's I've never heard of anyone having had surgery for
mate, it's been fine ever since.
A turd tear.
Turd tear. Blood in me boxers and everything, man. Everyone knows about it.
Well, I imagine.
They do now.
Are you the same as me? Do you, when something like that happens, do you just have to own it and tell every single person?
Of course, of course.
I've got to put my hands up. I've got to shout it from the rooftops.
I've actually got as well, for a lot of people might already know this, I've also got 2 arseholes.
Right, okay.
I've got a little hole at the bottom of my spine. You know, like Shallow Hal where he grows the tail?
Oh, yeah.
In that exact place there, I've got a little hole. My son's got it as well.
Wow. There you go. So it's not functioning though, is it?
No, it comes out of it.
I was going to say,
it's not like a spare. It's not a spare.
Like Play-Doh, 2 perfect streams. One a bit thicker, one a bit thinner.
Mate, it's actually quite... If I showed you it...
Please don't.
Actually, all it does... This is all it does. This is all it's useful for. It collects fluff.
Wow.
It's a nightmare. You know, like your belly button. When you wear a new t-shirt, it collects fluff. All that hole does is quite literally collects fluff.
Wow.
Mad, eh?
Wow. So does your lass have to hoover your back? You got a lint roller. A lint roller, but like with... You know how you get like muscle rollers that you roll your legs on, but they've got like they're like dappled.
IKEA.
Yeah, have you got one of them? So it's got lumps on it, like a spiky lint roller.
I'll tell you what, that'll be a useful thing.
Mate, you're a businessman. You're a businessman. Patent it, make it.
There's a niche in the market for that, isn't there? Maybe we need to get one of those out of the massage gun attachment. We just started this massage gun company, and I wonder if we'll get a Hoover for the end. You know, the attachments that you get for the end, that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? But I'm not sure how many people in the world have 2 arseholes.
Is it, I'm going to get really deep as the word, is it sensitive when you touch it, or is it just like a belly button?
No, it's just like you can probably get about that much of your finger in it.
For the podcast, he's doing about a centimetre.
They're about up to that first knuckle of your little finger, you probably get about that much in. Isn't that mad? It's Paul Mort talk shit and about arseholes.
Yeah.
So let's... Why is it called Shag, Married, Annoyed, the podcast?
We had absolutely no idea what to call the podcast. We're going to call it like something really cheesy, like Ramsey's Rambles and all this, like At Home with the Ramseys and all this. And a producer mate of mine called Mark Idden came up with the name Shag, Married, Annoyed. We had emails back and forth, we're trying to come up with the names, and he came up with the name. And I then told it to my manager, and my manager like pissed himself down the phone. And then
that's when you knew it was the right name.
Oh, he was like, that's amazing. He was like, that's genius.
Yeah.
And then we're told we're PR, like we're publicist team. It's the same company. They've got like our management have got like PR. They've got TV arm. They've got all this.
Yeah.
And we said to the publicist team, we're going to call it Shag, Married, Annoyed. And we're like, no, it's going to be really hard that like for publications and for TV and magazines, they might not be able to say. Because we had the same problem with My Dad Wrote a Porno. I went, and it fucking done them. They've done all right out of it. They play fucking Sydney Opera House live. Don't worry, we'll be fine. So so when we're on something like Lorraine or whatever, or this morning, we'll have to say something Married, Annoyed. But
we have a nightmare with some of it just because of the word shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well,
it's like, really, people are offended by it. I don't know if it's about being offended, it's just some of the platforms don't like the name.
I hate people who are offended by adults who are offended by swearing. Get in the fucking sea. Hate them. But I understand why people don't want the word shit to just pop up on a morning TV show if your kids are watching. Because I've got a kid now. Yeah. I understand. Like when I said bumming on Soccer AM that time, Soccer AM. At the time I was young, I didn't have a kid, and I was like, "What's the matter with you all, man? Fuck the system." And now I'm like, actually, I'd be raging
if someone said that.
Because something like Soccer AM is safe viewing for an adult and a child on a Saturday morning, and there's not much safe viewing.
Yeah, I mean, and I think sometimes if you're going to go mainstream, you've kind of got to. You've got to kind of play by the rules a little bit, haven't you?
Well, we're really lucky because the podcast is absolutely no holes barred. Me and her say absolutely.
You've got to put it in as explicit though as well.
Yeah, but we talk about whatever we want. The stories we get sent in are absolutely mind-boggling. Some of the shit. I mean, your two arsehole thing doesn't even scrape the surface. Doesn't even scrape the surface with some of the stuff we get sent.
I heard one the other day where you were talking about this guy this woman that had shagged the usher or something.
Oh, the wedding, we've had loads of them. We've had a guy, we had a story about a guy who was cheating on his wife and on the way home washed his dick in a puddle, and she got some kind of infection from him washing his dick in a puddle because he cheated on her and he washed his dick in a puddle. Mate, like the maddest stories you'll ever hear. But the beauty is, although I'm doing, BBC, the One Show and the Little Mix things coming up in this primetime stuff, you can see.
Hang on a fucking second. Hang on a second. What? I fucking love Little Mix.
You know, heard I'm hosting The Search. The new show, The Search.
I seen a fucking advert. You're hosting that?
On the live. I'm hosting the live show.
How does Rosie feel about this?
She's jealous because she loves Little Mix.
And they're all smoking hot.
Oh, they're lovely lasses, man. They're so cool. And I felt like their dad when we went for the photo shoot. But no, they're so cool. They're so lovely. So it's this Little Mix, The Search. It's like they're doing a talent show. You know what I mean, they're doing this thing. Yeah. It's incredible because they've been on one side of it already. Yeah. They've been through a talent show thing. So they're really, it's like a...
It's BBC?
BBC One. Yeah. So it's BBC One. BBC Strictly in The Search are BBC's two main big shows, Saturday night shows this year. And they've filmed the 6 audition shows. So they audition them and then they go through the process and then they turn them into a band. So 6 bands. Yeah. So there's a girl group, a boy group, a mixed group, a musician group, a dance group, a vocal. I think that might be it.
I don't need anyone with 2 arseholes.
They definitely don't need anyone with 2 arseholes. 100% not. I think there's one in the musician group. I think there's one. He plays 2 trumpets. It's amazing. I'm joking. So they're showing the 6 audition shows, and then when the live shows start, and they have to battle against each other. I'm the Dermot O'Leary figure, which is amazing. Yeah, over the moon.
When's that going to start?
Starts this week.
Oh, does it?
Saturday. Yeah.
So you're down in London for?
What date it is. No, because the audition shows have been pre-recorded. I've already seen them all. The second is the first 2. Yes. And then went and watched them. And I watched them. I loved it. And I was like, sends the other 4 fucking now.
Really?
I mean, Rosie just like binged all of them. It's really cool.
Yeah.
And then, so and I think October will start. So it'll be live. I'll be hosting that live, which is crazy. But what I'm saying is the beauty is we can keep Shag, Married, Annoyed. We say literally what we want, and we are filthy, and we are rude, and we are stupid, and we're childish. Yeah. But then you can just take it. Then my stand-up separate, then the hosting, the presenting separate, and it's nice.
Yeah, nice, mate. Yeah. So, mate, this wasn't... What would you say was your big thing from doing fucking High in a Cafe I'm going to say it was anything to do with the Dunes. And
it was definitely Paul Mort being at the Dunes, 100%.
What would you say was there a big thing that kind of got you famous, if you like?
What's really weird?
Or was it just fucking pure consistency for you? Because it's not easy, is it?
No, but there is a degree of luck. There is a huge degree of luck in this game. I don't believe anyone who says there's not. Yeah. Even your kind of, obviously it's not the same field, but even your Conor McGregor kind of mentality of, I visualise this and I always said I'd be double champ. That's absolutely cool, man. And I imagine you've got a lot of talent, but in anything like that, there is some degree of luck to get spotted, to get seen or whatever. Yes. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
No, God, I'm not dissing Conor McGregor. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, there is talent and there's hard work ethic and there's
all what's mad is one of his sparring partners, Brian Moore, I'll be listening.
Really?
That's why he's kind of telling you
all these people, I'll watch them, right? Whenever I watch UFC or watch anything like that, I always just thank God for society and the police. and that we've got laws, because I just think if there was no laws in society, what would stop him from just knocking on my door and going, I want your house, and me going, have me house. Come on, kids, wife, come on, we're living in the motorhome now. Conor McGregor lives here. Apparently he's took the full street. Bye. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing. Dude,
that would be wild. That would be wild. So
every time I see the heavyweights, I think that. So there is a massive degree of hard work. You've got to be hard work. You've got to live and breathe what you do. And you've got to be consistent and you've got to be talented. But I don't know if it's like I say in the book, there's literally a sentence that says this will never be a Sunday Times bestseller, and it's a #1 bestseller. But I didn't do that to be a twat. I did that because I never believed it would be. Yeah. But I still worked my hardest and put everything in that, like I do with everything else.
You know what I love about this? I say this all the time. I'm like, do you know this whole fucking believe it and you achieve it thing?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, what if you just, a lot of things that happen for you, you'd never believe that they would have happened.
Never in a million years.
Nah.
Never in a million years. However, I'm gonna slightly contradict that with, there was never a moment in my head when I started stand-up. There was never a moment in my head where I thought, this won't work out.
Really?
But it wasn't loud, and I never said it. Yeah. And I never was like, I'm going to be the best, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to have arena tours. I never said it. I just, as I think back now, it's just really strange. I can picture in my head where I was. I was walking up the stairs the other day. I was carrying something up the stairs, and I was just thinking about it. I live in my own head quite a lot.
Yeah.
And it was just this constant in the back of my mind of like, it was an inevitability in my head, but I never vocalised it. I never told anyone.
Was it like I'm going to be Al Reith?
Not even that. It was just in the background. The more I think of it now, it was just in the background and it was silent. It was just, there was no, I knew I was building towards a DVD. I knew I was building towards, like tours and being on telly and fame's a byproduct of what I want to do. Yeah. And it was just, it was like, oh, well, I'm going to get to there. Not, oh, I hope I get to there. Yeah. I'm going to get to there. Like it was a fucking sat-nav and I'd put it in and I knew soon I would be there.
Really?
Weirdly, yeah.
Do you think that came from your mum and dad, or think it's a...
No, well, my mum and dad, my mum's always said have something to fall back on. Her thing was when I dropped out of uni, you know what I mean? I've said in interviews and I've said in telly and stuff that when I dropped out of uni, my mum was like, what the fuck, like, what you do? Yeah. She wasn't that bad. Yeah. She was like, but she was, due trepidation. She
it's like when when my mum and dad said I had to get a trade.
Yeah.
Get a trade.
Same kind of thing, yeah. But mine never said get a trade. My dad, I remember, bless me dad. So we used to, on a morning, I remember when I was little, when I was getting ready for school, he'd be going to work and he'd sit on the bottom of the stairs and I'd be behind him on the stairs just as he was like saying bye to him, like so giving him a cuddle over the top of his neck, giving him a cuddle, he'd be putting his work boots on. And he used to always say, son, I want you to stick in at school because I never want you to have to put boots like these on.
Really?
Work. That's what he used to say.
Billy Ramsey.
Isn't that weird? Yeah.
It is mad, that.
Put boots like these on to go to work, and I'd go, like, I'm 4. Mate, line up.
Mate, that's cool, lad.
Yeah, he used
because
to
my
say
dad
that.
dragged me into the same fucking factory as him.
Did he? Well, he used to say that. Well,
you know where you're going over the Tyne Bridge? There's a factory on the corner. It fucking stinks.
Which way?
Like a foundry.
Yes.
I'll serve me time there.
Really?
From fucking 16 to 20.
Fucking that, the one where... So hold on, which way? So Gateshead side.
If you're driving from Shields to Newcastle, you turn right to go over the bridge. There's a factory right in the corner.
I know exactly what you mean. Lifting. Yeah. Wow. Wow.
That's mad, isn't it? But your dad said that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so we used to say that all the time. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that anywhere.
Dad's like a young Tony Robbins. I fucking love it.
But he used to say that. He used to say, I don't want you to put boots on. And then my mum's whole thing was, the generation of, putting a shirt and tie on and going and sitting in an office means you fucking made it. Whereas now putting a shirt and tie on and going and sit in an office, I think my head would explode because I'm not that kind of person. I never knew I was a creative. I never knew I was a creative. I never knew I wanted to create and be artistic and express.
What were you doing at uni like?
film and media.
Really?
But I had no idea what I was going to do with it. I want to be a lecturer. I want to be a lecturer. There was a lad, one of my seminar leaders was called Aaron. I weirdly know him now. He weirdly married one of Rosie's best friends from school, and it was weird when me and Rosie got together. We got invited to their wedding, and he was like, "Oh, Ashley's marrying Aaron," and I was like, "He was my seminar leader at uni." But he was a year above me, and he'd done the seminars and everything, and then he started teaching the seminars. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I love me film and I'm into this, so I'll do that. I'll learn this, I'll learn this film and media shit, and then I'll teach someone else it. But then I remember thinking, it's a bit, I don't know, like, what's the point in that? Just learning the thing and then teaching someone else the thing. What kind of cycle's that? And I literally just burped there, try to hide it, probably put it out of the mouth.
Hey, you're the Paul Mort talk shit show, mate. You get it with almost as much on you as you do on your own fucking show.
But then what did I do? I had my dissertation. I just started my dissertation. It was what was it on? Can I remember? It might still be me.
Dissertation, fucking hell, mate. You can tell you're smart. I don't know what that means.
Like, I done about 400 words of it. I think it was on gender and male stereotypes in The Sopranos. That's what it was going to be on. And then I got.
Dude, that's a pretty cool thing to be able to write about, to be fair. That is a cool fucking subject.
It is, but then at the same time,
sitting down and writing
in my brain, I'm thinking, where the fuck's this going to get me? I'm writing about a TV show. Like, where's this going to get me in the world? Like, it was still frightening. Do you know what I mean? And then I went to see the leader of me, the fucking head of me year, and I said, look, I want to postpone it, and I want to come back next year because I've started doing stand-up and I want to see if it takes off.
Yeah.
And he was like, I mean, Dan, I was only getting like 40 quid a night in Grimsby and shit like that.
Really?
I was paying more in petrol than I was getting paid by a mile, but it was the exposure. And then,
what did he say, by the way, when you said you were going to do that? Was he irate?
Don't. Fucking don't. He was like, no, what? He was like, but you've started your dissertation. He was like, you've literally, I had no term time left. I didn't have to go on any more seminars. I just had to do an essay, 10,000 word essay. And then, but in my head, 10,000 words was like, fuck that, that's impossible. There's about 85,000 words in that book, maybe longer. I mean, I only did half of them because Rose did the other half. But yeah, he said no, and then I said, right, I'll go back. And my mum was like, right, you're going to go back. And I was like, I'm going to go back to uni. And he was never going to go back.
Really?
And then stand-up started, and then that was it. Whack. And I never knew until I started stand-up. I didn't know it existed. I didn't know the stand-up comedy scene existed. And I thought famous people, the only people I knew doing stand-up were already stand-ups famous.
Yes.
Jim Davison from back in the day, which obviously...
Really?
Well, in the 90s...
John Virgo's mate.
Why? Well, in the, very controversial figure now, but all I'm saying is in the 90s, I knew he did stand-up, but I knew he hosted Big Break. So he was already a famous man.
Yes.
And so when famous men and women were already famous and they did stand-up, I had it in my head that they did it as like a folly.
Yes.
I was like, there must just be a movie star, and then go, fuck it, I'll people know me, I'll fill an arena and they'll sit and I'll chat. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And then Ricky Gervais fucking proved that wrongly to me because he did The Office and then he was like, I'll do stand-up. Yes. And I was like, that must be the crack. Yeah. And I just had no idea there was a stand-up circuit for fucking years until my mate said I'm going to do it, and I went and did it once, and I didn't know this existed. This is what I want to do, and that was.
Where's the first time you did it? The Hyena?
No, fucking took me years to get booked to the Hyena.
Did it?
Hyena didn't book us till I moved away.
Really?
I had to move to Manchester for the Hyena. It's fucking crazy, but it was weird because when you move away to first of all, Dog and Parrot. Answer your question. Dog and Parrot, Newcastle, Long Live Comedy, Tuesday night, 19th of January 2008.
Really?
Might have been my first gig. Might be 2000, might be 2008. I'm not sure. Then that'll be my first ever one. And then the Hyena, weirdly, until you move away to do stand up. When you live in I'm living in Newcastle. I'm a comedian. I live in Newcastle. Hyena, bookers. Nah, bang.
Yeah, I get flown all over the place to fucking do speaking gigs. I've never been booked for one year. I'm not even kidding.
Well, because I've
got fucking Lisbon booked for next year. I've got all these mad fucking Barcelona last year. I get all these things, and I never get fuck all year.
Because they think, they go, we don't want the local guy. Do you know what I mean? You're exotic, you go somewhere else. So this is how the Hyena work. It's like, you live in Manchester now. We'll book you. Do you know what I mean? Because there was a comedy scene in Manchester.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, crazy.
It is crazy. So
that is the biggest drink.
Jug.
That is what?
Jug full of piss.
Right. So we talked about these on the podcast. Me and Rosie talked about for the people listening. Sorry. He's basically, Paul's just picked up a fucking oil drum with a sip cup bit on the top. That is meant. Is that because you ripped your bum? Do you keep hydrated now?
Mate, I do have to keep hydrated so my poos aren't moist. I'm not even kidding. That's one of the things the doctor said. He said, you need to check this out though. I have to take a stool softener every day. You know, like an old one, like my nana
like
does.
Like a Senecot.
So a stool softener, and I have to drink loads of water every day. Otherwise, me turds are like fucking.
Wow.
I couldn't even.
So what's in
there?
Me
turds are like a fake turd. That's just got some electrolytes in.
Electrolytes. Got you.
Funny enough, one of the sponsors of the show, Jigsaw Nutrition, sent me them. So big up. I've got a supplement company sponsor me. Chris has got fucking Sky and fucking Asda and that. I was like, is there something wrong here?
I don't think Asda have sponsored we. I don't want to.
Not yet.
Sainsbury's, HelloFresh, a lot of ridiculous. Well, we got to interview Rafe Spall for Apple TV during the beginning of lockdown for one of the sponsors. Well, it's been amazing the sponsors we're getting for the
fucking hell.
But yeah, I always find it very obnoxious when someone carries a thing like that. Yeah, there's just like, I've got this gallon of look at me.
Fuck you.
Do you know what it is, right? I'll tell you why. I'm jealous of people's healthiness. So when I see someone with a massive thing like that, I'm like, look at you.
Well, it's not about health. I just don't want to fucking split me arse all over again.
Look at you hydrating and rubbing it in my fucking face. That's what I feel.
All it is for me is a preventative measure.
Well,
because next time you do the customs house, I don't want to miss it. Maybe you'll never do that again, will you?
Customs house? No, we'll definitely do customs house. I've been helping them out.
Mate, it's funny you should say that. I said to Lesley, I said, I saw your mate Carl had posted something about the customs house.
Yeah.
And obviously I seen fucking Tommy the Trumpeter, Ray, post something about it. And I was like, do you know what? I could put an event on there and do really well out of it. But then she's like, you can only fill a third of the capacity. That's that problem.
At the moment, it's crazy. So I've done I can't give it away because it's not been on TV yet, but I did a TV show recently, a game show, celebrity game show, and I won. Did I win it? I got to the final. I was the last one in the final. It's really boring. I can't tell you what it is, but I won a substantial amount of money for the customs house because they were
that's amazing, mate.
For all of this.
Yeah.
And I try and help them out and just doing what we can in these times for it, like.
Because it's amazing. My kids have seen some fucking great shit there.
It's like a travesty if I were local theatre.
Wayne that does the fucking Naughty Elf.
Wayne Miller.
Did Robin ever see that?
Yeah, it's great.
I went to school with Wayne.
Elfluent.
Elfluent, amazing. Yeah. And the other kid, what's the other kid called that does the fucking pantomime? What's his name?
I can't remember.
He's called fucking.
Mate. I see his face in my
People
head.
say he's Ray Spencer's son, but I'm pretty sure he's not.
I see his face in my head, but I'm.
You know what I mean? I can't remember his name, but he's fucking hilarious as well.
Yeah.
I went to a couple of shows last year. The kids absolutely loved it.
It's just local theatre, like
local crack, like little dirty jokes in for the adults and that.
Yeah. Me and Jason Cook and Sarah Milligan are all patrons, and Jade from Little Mix, and I think Rosie is as well. Or the ceremony.
I'm next on this. Fuck, I'm coming for
Definitely you. Definitely not. We're patrons of the customs house, and no, I'm not taking the piss. I remember when I got the thing saying it said patrons must have one arsehole, so you can't. You just can't. It's not allowed. It's not.
I like
it's just
another
written.
Thing, fucking.
It's written in stone.
I get a fucking butt plug for that second.
No, but it's important to have local theatre and stuff like that, and it's the grassroots sort of theatre and your comedy clubs and stuff that end up getting your Little Mixes up there, your Alan Carrs.
But didn't you have fucking Ed Sheeran on there one time?
Ed Sheeran played a customs house.
That's fucking insane.
It's unbelievable.
And wasn't it a joke or something? Wasn't it? Sorry, not a joke. A surprise or something.
Yeah. So basically, again, we're gonna have to get sad here. A few years ago, my dad's cousin's son, he was 9 years old. He had a brain tumor. He died. It was horrible. And I went to the funeral, and I was at the funeral, and I had, you've always got credit cards, haven't you? I didn't have much. I think I had like 50 quid in my wallet, and I put 50 quid into the Click Sergeant thing that had helped them hugely, the children's cancer thing.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, I wish I had more.
Yeah.
And I'd had a couple of, the bit afterwards. What's it called? The bit after
the
wake. I had a couple of drinks and I put the 50 quid in, and I thought, I wish I had more money. I was like, I can go to the cash point. I was like, and I spoke to someone. I said, can I do a bank transfer? And they're like, yeah. And then I sat and thought again. I was like, I'll do a fucking gig. I was like, I can do a gig here. So I sat on my phone in the corner, literally in the corner of the wake, and I texted a load of different comedians. Al Murray, up for it. Obviously Jason Cook. Billy Mitchell from Lindisfarne.
I thought you were going to say from EastEnders there.
No, but Run for Home.
Oh, yeah.
So that song played as Jack was the lad who died, as his coffin went in, that song played, Run for Home, was his favourite song. So Billy Mitchell from Lindisfarne, who sung it, I got him to come and sing it as well, and I thought, well, as I've got one music act, total long shot. I texted Ed Sheeran, and I went, look, a total long shot, mate, you're probably busy. I'm doing this gig for this, family member who died. Do you fancy it? Aye, no bother.
That's mad.
He came down. He was in, I think, if I remember right, he was in Scotland at the time. He had some time off. We had something. I think really he was supposed to go on holiday. I think it got cancelled or something. I don't know. He'd been in Scotland at the time. He got a car, just like a taxi, like a posh taxi from Scotland, down to my house. Paid for that myself. That was
Got a posh taxi.
Well, I do them now and then. I'll get a taxi.
Before Uber.
Yeah. But when all this sort of COVID stuff kicked off, I was going for the one show and I couldn't get the train and I didn't want to drive myself. So, I'd get a car service.
Yeah.
Mad, 300 quid or something to take you to London. It's craziness, right? But needs must. So he got that back then, got to mine. So that must cost me 300 quid. Then he stayed at mine, he did a gig. He said, how long do you want us to do? I went, just do 20 minutes. Did an hour and 20.
Fucking hell, really?
Hour and 20, customs house, 440 odd people, however many it holds. Ed Sheeran walks out. And
nobody knew he was coming on?
No one knew he was coming on. People were losing their shit. All the phones came out, boom. He did an hour and 20. Wouldn't take any money off us, wouldn't take any money for his cars. Got a car the next day back to Norwich, stayed at hours on the night, and we earned about 20 grand.
That's fucking amazing, man.
It was amazing. And he played the customs house.
Let's give a little fucking round of applause to Chris fucking Ramsey.
Ed Sheeran, can I say.
That's amazing. Well, maybe you didn't even mention him and it still got sold out, eh?
That's a good point, actually.
I'll
have that round of applause.
They'd already paid.
Nicest man on the planet. People talk about how nice he is. They don't even realise how nice he is. And he keeps a lot of it quiet, what he does.
Yeah.
Fucking absolute legend of a boy.
Is he the most famous person in your contact list?
Not even in my contact list anymore. He doesn't have a phone. You email him.
Wow.
You
email him?
Yeah, you email him.
Wow.
Little Mixer on the telly the other day. It's really weird because I email him. This is pathetic, right? But because I'm neurotic. I email him and I think, am I just emailing you and you're just ringing every other fucker? Like, am I like down the pecking order? But Little Mixer on the telly the other day talking about the search, and Perry said, oh yeah, they're talking about social media, and Perry she was like, oh, Ed Sheeran's not on social media, he's barely on it. She was like, he doesn't even have a phone, you've got to email that guy. And a little bit of us was like, oh, that's good, I'm glad
everyone's
got a direct line and I'm going in the junk box.
Hey, imagine not having a phone.
He says it's the best thing you ever did.
When I go on holiday, I don't take my phone. Like,
I sometimes
it's totally different. Matt, can you get Chris another water, mate?
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Thank you. Actually, see if you can get him on get him a big jug, right?
Go fuck yourself. I was going to say I'll throw it back you, but he's an MMA fighter as well. Everyone's a fucking MMA fighter these days. You've not noticed.
You don't want any of Max smoke, I'm telling you. Imagine that, right? Matt must be the only kid that gets paid, because I train with him, obviously.
Yeah.
That gets paid to fuck his boss up 3 times a week.
Why, aye.
That's pretty fucking cool, isn't it?
Crazy, man. So unassuming as well. I'd love that, I'd love to be an unassuming looking hard fucker. I've said to my wife loads of times.
He's got no cauliflower ears or anything.
Yeah. I've said to my wife loads of times, if I was a billionaire, or if I was really fucking hard, I'd be a loose cannon. I'd have to be put in prison.
Do you think?
I've often said if I was a billionaire, I would go around when shit drivers on the road. If I was a billionaire, I'd spend my time ramming people off the road. They'd drive like a twat, and I'd wait till the road's clear and safe, and I'd just fucking ram.
I never even drive anymore.
I'd just throw a load of money in. I'm a billionaire, by the way. There you go, sort that out. And then I'd get banned. I've planned it. Then I'd get banned. Then I'd have to have a nutter driving me, and me in the back going, right,
take them out,
ram them. Oh, I'd be like Lex Luthor.
Really?
A nightmare. Really low rent.
Do you even drive much anymore?
I do. I drive around Shields and that, and I'll drive. I don't really drive to gigs. When I do, when can we do gigs again? Oh, he's got a jug.
He has actually got a jug.
Oh, in the water, in the glass.
Come on,
dude. Thank you, mate. Thank you very much.
I've got to fucking go.
That's not. It was bang on that. Thank you,
mate. So, mate, actually,
what the fuck's that in there?
Oh,
what's that? A pube?
That is actual pube. That is an actual pube.
I can't believe this.
Mark, that is an actual pube.
I didn't mean to slag your jugs off, I'm so sorry.
Hey, what is that?
That's amazing. That's like a bit of grass or something.
I think it is a pube.
It is a bit. It is. He's claimed the fame. Chris Ramsey swallowed one of my pubes.
Is that a weird fan thing? Is that it? It's like, Chris, I'm inside you now.
Mate, I want to tell you something. My wife wanted to make sure I mentioned this, right? Because I remember, we're talking about the customs house now.
Yeah.
I remember you did a customs house gig. Your mum and dad, in fact, your mum and dad were sitting behind us with Colin Williams and that.
Yeah.
And how long ago was that, would you say? When was the last time you did, like, just you?
Was it Affirmation? Was it the one with the pictures and the letters?
Yes.
That'll have been 2012.
So 2012, I was low as fuck, right? I lived in Spain then, and I came home for something. I think it was to fucking probably see a shrink or something, right? And I came with my friend, and funny enough, his son's at uni studying fucking film and media now.
Okay.
And he said, I've got tickets for Chris Ramsey. And I went, mate, and that was the first time I'd laughed for about 2 years.
No
so
way.
Fucking big up for that.
Oh, mate, I'm over the moon with that.
And then that's the reason. Remember when I used to do those courses and I used to come and get those DVDs off you?
Yeah.
So I've helped a bunch of guys through that, and that's why I used to get your DVD, mate.
Oh, mate,
so
that's amazing.
So big up for that, mate.
Oh, I never knew that. That's really, honestly. Fucking hell,
2012.
I'm getting emotional at the minute. You know, 2020's got me fucking doing backflips inside.
Mate, I'm crying all the time. I cried at Tenet the other day because I had no idea what
No spoilers. I can't wait to see that. No, I'm so excited to see it.
There isn't a single spoiler exists for it.
Really?
Well, nobody knows what fucking happened. I can't, honestly, mate, nobody knows what happened.
I've heard that. It's like really hard to follow.
There's legit not a spoiler other than no one knows what happened.
Right, okay, so...
But I couldn't take my eyes off it.
Right.
Like, so that tells me that it was good. At no point did I want to walk out.
So am I going to have to wait until this is out on download so I can pause it and have conversations? Because I didn't like talking in the cinema.
Possibly. Well, the thing is, I had such a hard on because I was back in the cinema.
You were just buzzing.
It was like so much music and the drama. I was like, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it now.
Like an attack on the senses.
Because Cineworld put a trailer on that was like, we're back. And they started showing like, they showed like social media screenshots of people saying they're missing the cinema and that.
God.
And it was like, we're back, and they had all the drama. I was standing up going, come on! There's only me and my lass in there. It was mad. However, here's one for you they have to see.
Right.
When it first opened, they brought out the new Pinocchio. Mate, it's the scariest shit I've ever seen. Have you heard about this?
I saw an advert for it.
I had the kids there. Mate, they had Pinocchio hanging from a tree by a noose.
Oh my God.
Like
I've heard it's dark. Isn't it by the guy who did Pan's Labyrinth?
It's Italian. Mate, it's like a PG.
I'm
the
sure
kids were there like that, Dad. This is
sure
super
it's the
weird.
guy who did Pan's Labyrinth.
The tie your foot when only turns into a donkey. The tie your fucking rock round his ankle and hide him in the sea.
You are joking. Wow.
Because he was offended by swearing, I think. Mate, honestly, it's the darkest shit I've ever seen.
I've seen it, yeah.
Take Robin to see it.
Oh, never in a million years, no.
He'd probably like it, judging by what Rosie said.
I can't, I'm bad with scary stuff.
Really?
I'm really pathetic. So I really wanted to watch, there's some films, I see a horror, and I'd love to watch that. I'm like intrigued by them, but then they live in my head, and I fucking freak myself out.
You know what the scariest film I've ever seen? A Blair Witch Project. I was fucking terrified by that.
Sometimes.
Because you've never seen anything? You didn't actually see a single thing that was scary?
Changed the horror genre forever.
You think?
It was the first time they'd ever done it. It was psychological. It was that amazing sort of...
You saw nothing?
But it was that amazing sort of thing of where for a while... Everyone, they were banging the drum of, oh no, this is real, this is actually found.
Yeah.
It was the first time
like
I found footage.
Movie.
Yeah, it was the first time I found footage, big scale horror movie, like big marketed sort of hugely one. I mean, they ruined it with the fucking sequels. But yeah, unbelievable. That's that bit at the end where he's standing in the corner, the camera falls over, and that lad's just standing in the corner like he's in the naughty corner.
That's it, fuck.
And that's all.
And then it just stops.
And then the camera goes off.
It's wild.
Look at it. Goosebumps thinking about it.
It's wild,
Unbelievable. So since then, I've wanted to watch. What are the ones that really intrigued us? It has intrigued us. Never watched it too.
Have you not? Mate, here's what's wild. My 9-year-old's seen both of them.
Shut up, man.
He's a bit... I let him watch things like that. He loves them.
Yeah, some kids love them. I had kids I went to school
with. You know what I love looking? Looking at what he's been searching for on the iPad.
Really?
Mate, when Robin gets into that, it's hilarious.
Jesus.
Real life sightings of Slender Man he was searching for the other day.
Man?
Slender Man's like this really tall... It's not even scary.
Right, okay.
But then also, Lesley caught him Googling because we let him play Grand Theft Auto for a bit.
Oh, Jesus.
He's only 9. And he started Googling, what's a prostitute? Fucking Pornhub's open and everything, mate. So we had to delete it from his thing. I was like, he's way too young to have seen that.
God.
His innocence is gone by Grand Theft Auto.
The internet is going to steal all of our children's innocence.
It is. It's insane.
Quickly.
It's insane. Mate, I want to go back to the customs house again because one thing I've written down here that I wanted to touch on was, obviously I saw you at the customs house a couple of times and then I seen you at the arena and your show was so much fucking better.
Really?
Like,
wow.
Your jokes were as funny,
yeah,
but they weren't jokes. Your performance was totally different.
Got to turn up.
Is that something that you're working on?
Got to turn up in an arena.
Like,
got to do it.
There was just, obviously it was still fucking hilarious, but there was like a whole new, it was almost like you're taking acting classes or something.
Yeah.
How do you take acting classes?
Well.
Like, what was the difference between then and then? Because I was blown away by it.
Bless you. Thanks.
Because I've had speaking training and that, right?
Yeah.
And people can tell when I've improved, but I was like, I said to Lesley, I said, fucking hell. It was not that the first one wasn't, the first few weren't good, but this one was different level. Like, what was the...
Well, weirdly, right, and I don't tell many people this, so all I ever wanted to be is better than my last show.
Yes.
So people come up to me. I find it so lovely, but so weird when people go, I hope you don't mind us saying, but I like this a lot better than your last show. And I go, that's exactly the trajectory I need to be on.
Yeah. I'm glad you noticed.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I'm trying really hard.
I'm glad you noticed, but A, I'm glad you noticed. B, don't act so fucking surprised about it because I'm working my tits off. There's a spoken word guy who did a bit of rapping as well called Scroobius Pip. He does a bit of podcasting as well. He does this Distraction Pieces podcast. And he's got this line in one of his songs, who am I better than I'm better than I used to be? Yeah. I'm keep on getting better, so you better just get used to me, right? Yeah. And I always think who am I better than I'm better than I used to be. And I think whenever I'm going to write a new show, I think who am I better than I'm better than I used to be.
Yeah.
And the thing with the moment I had to do the arena, it was, you find out that the key for an arena is making it smaller. Because your face is on the screen, you've got to you can't stand and shout. You can't just stand and shout your stuff out.
Yes.
Because yes, you're trying to play to the guy in the back row.
But he's got the TV.
Yeah, so he's got it on the TV, but the key is the guy in row ZZZ, right at the back. You're not throwing it out to him. You're bringing him in.
Oh, amazing.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
You're not going, yeah, you at the back, yeah. You're going, you at the back.
Yes.
Come in.
Yeah.
And you're bringing him in. And with him coming in, everyone else is coming in and folding in around you.
Yeah.
And it's about, I worked a lot on recently in the sort of more, the more established that you get, the more time you get to just do your own tours. And you're not having to do the circuit to earn money.
Yes.
You can do all of these warm-up gigs and focus just on your gear and then take it out on tour, and you can learn all different nuances, and it
And do you look at anyone in particular that learn this shit from, or is it just...
Nah, just me and the people I work with, and you literally, I've got a couple of comics who I'll sort of bounce ideas off with when I'm writing a show. It's always good. Stand-up, you can't just sit in your room and write it, then walk out and have it done. Because you can sit and write it, and you can walk out and you can fucking bomb for an hour, and it's not helpful. And you need to have every single big comic...
Have you bombed?
Millions of times.
What's it like bombing?
Horrendous.
Is it?
It's the worst feeling in the world.
When people say you can't, like, I'm always like, you can't die of embarrassment, but is that about the closest you can get?
Afterwards. I've had gigs where you'll be driving back afterwards and you're running it through in your head. And the worst bit is, in new gigs, on new material nights, I have to record the audio. So this is weird, right? So I've just written the 2022. I wrote it in March. And it was ready. The day we got locked down was supposed to be my first night at the Hackney Empire.
Oh shit, was it?
The show is ready. It's on the shelf. It is done. It is signed, sealed, delivered. There's a bow around.
Yeah.
But I've forgot it. So I've got to listen to the audio recordings when touring is allowed again. So hopefully next year.
So you do a couple of things and then you listen to the recording of you doing it live? Or do you record it like...
Every step of the way. So this is how I write.
So do you like record it into your fucking...
Into my phone.
Really?
So listen, right, so basically I'll go, right, new show, here we go, what am I going to talk about? Here's my topics, I'll sit with me, we'll go, right, what we're going to talk about, boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
I go and do 10 minutes at a comedy club.
Yeah.
It's recorded on the phone.
Yeah.
Guess listen back now. It's fucking painful.
Yeah.
I hate doing it. And he's always going, have you listened to it yet? You bring us the next day. Have you listened to it yet? Have you listened to it yet? And I'm like, the worst bit is, to answer your embarrassment question, again, I'm on a tangent here, but the worst bit is listening to the recording on the way home. Sometimes I've been driving and I'll play the recording and I'll listen to it and I'll literally go, oh, you fucking wanker! Listening to something that has just died on its fucking hook.
Yeah.
Or where I've said something off the cuff to try and... So something's died and I've really said something really cheap and crass and...
To try and
shit
bring it back.
Off the cuff to try and get a cheap laugh to keep the momentum going. And I'll be like, you're fucking better than that, you shit.
Yeah.
It's the maddest thing. Stand up, the minute you think you've got... I think it was Jimmy Carr who said, the minute you think you've got stand up, it's gone.
Yeah.
The minute you think you've got it, it's gone.
Yeah.
And... So I write a new show, I write it down, it's all on bits of paper, I get the bullet points, I print it out, I go on stage, I literally read it from the fucking script.
Yeah.
In the early days, you will read it from the script.
Really?
Some people get annoyed, some people in the crowd get
like
upset.
You're reading it.
But I once heard Sarah Millican said to us, she went on stage, it was when I was doing new material, when I was nowhere near the level she was at the time.
Yeah.
She was blowing up huge, and I was lucky enough to be on a gig where I was dead excited. It was one of the first times I met her, and she had all her new material written on a bit of paper, and I went, oh, did you just read off the paper? And she literally went, well, what's the point remembering it if it's going to be shit? And I was like, that's fucking so clever.
Aye.
So, yeah, and if it's got potential, then you can start committing it to memory. But what's the point in trying to remember and wasting your time to memorize this thing that you don't even...
Yeah, how do you know if it's funny?
Audience.
Really?
That's the point. You write it down. It's got to be tested in front of an audience. Yeah. Stand-up's the only thing. Music... Fucking Ed Sheeran can probably, I don't know how he works, but he can probably sit in a studio with his producers and some people he works with and do a song, and they're going to all go, because they know the music industry and now they're going to all go, that's a fucking banger, that's a number one.
Yeah.
You can sit with 6 comics, write a routine and go, that's the funniest fucking routine ever said. Walk up on stage and fucking bomb. Literally, and you can all sit in and you'll walk backstage and they'll all go, what the fuck? And no one knows. It's the maddest thing in the world. It's constantly moving and shifting. So I'll do the bit, I'll write it, I'll listen to it, I'll write it, I'll listen to it, I perform it, and then it got to the point of where I did 4 or 5 warm-up shows in 2020 at the beginning at the Customs House, recorded them, they're all in audio form, they're there, the final one is there, it's on my phone. I recorded the baby's heartbeat when the baby that's in, obviously that's in Rosie's tummy cooking, the baby that's cooking at the minute, I recorded its heartbeat when the midwife came round, and I saw at the top, Customs House and the date of the final preview, and I looked and I thought, well, in 2021, touch wood, touch everything that's wood, keep everything crossed. When we go back on tour, I'll have to sit and listen to that. And I'm dreading listening to it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm fucking dreading it. How much has the world changed since I wrote that show?
Mate, there's about a fucking million more jokes as well.
What's mental?
There's a million more stories.
Do you know what's fucking insane?
What?
Customs House, right? This fucking podcast sounds like it's sponsored by the Customs House, but it's my local theatre.
Good.
I went on New Year's Eve 2020, so 31st of December 2019, New Year's just gone. I went on the Customs House to write some new material in preparation for this new show. I had a fucking 10-minute bit about why I thought shaking hands was disgusting, and it died on its fucking horn.
Did it?
It died. Unbelievable, monumental
Even
death.
in mate, it must have been bad if it was in Shields.
Of a room of people going, who the fuck do you think you are? Who the fuck do you think you are saying you won't shake our hands, you prick? That's the vibe I got from the room. And now, it's shaking hands is the worst thing you can do.
It is,
You could, honestly, you will get more dirty looks in the street if you shake hands than if you kick a pigeon. Do you know that thing of like everyone, you think fuck pigeons, but
mate, you can tell you've been in London.
Dude.
Mate, you can tell you've been in London for too long because there's only fucking goals here.
I wouldn't.
And them cunts are kicking you back.
Yeah, you're not kicking one of them. Like. You are not kicking one of them.
No, they're not moving any. They're like, what you doing, you daft cunt?
But I've honestly, it's. I said to Rosie, I was like, I wrote a full routine about handshakes.
Will you change the routine now? You've got to, haven't you?
I dropped it.
Really?
I dropped the handshake routine because it didn't work. It got dropped. It got dropped on fucking New Year's Day when I did a rewrite, and then January, February was writing the book and writing this 2020 tour.
Yeah.
March, finishing the final bits of the tour and
ready to go.
Material.
Yeah.
Lockdown, shelved it. And then there's a few bits that may have to change in there. I used to end it. The new show was going to end on a routine about Strictly, but I've got to pull that routine about Strictly to the beginning of the show now because I'll be one series removed. If I go on tour next year, I'll not have been, I just done Strictly. I've been a load of other fuckers just done Strictly. I did it the year before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to be that guy going, remember when I did that? I did it, well, let's move on.
Shit, mate.
Do you know what I mean? It's the shit that goes into it's crazy.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. But
dude, talk to me about this then. So we've talked a lot about how well you've done, how far you've came, how you've fucking blown up and that. And what's the level of, because I remember this, right? I was telling Lesley about this before. I remember when your DVD first came out, and I'm sure you sent a text. You might not have just sent it to me. Right. And it was about, these cunts have left me a 1-star review. Remember that? Can you remember that? Can you leave me a 5-star review because someone's left me a 1-star? Remember that?
So
that was a long time ago as well, wasn't it?
So this sounds to anyone listening anyone who's listening to this thing and this is the first time they've heard me, they're going to think I sound like an absolute fucking wally for saying that. Please let us explain myself. Because I was thinking about this the other day because Amazon, you used to be able to review when you hadn't bought the product.
Oh shit, yeah.
So the DVD was up for pre-order.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't even out.
Aye.
And 4 or 5 knobs had went on and given a 1-star review saying it was the shittest DVD they'd ever seen. And I was like,
I wonder who they were, by the way.
Just wankers.
You ever think about that? Who they were?
Strong wankers. No,
from school or something.
Yeah, probably might be my family. I don't know. Anyway, it's probably Rosie on a few accounts, taking us down a peg or two. Got DVD coming out, have you, dickhead? And I just remember thinking, that's really unfair. I was like, look, if you've bought it and you didn't like it, that's fair enough. Leave a 1-star review. If you don't like it, that's absolutely. I've had a review is what it is. Yeah. 5-star review, nice to get. 4-star review, lovely to get. But you got to take them for the spoon. Some people aren't going to like it. We got hammered for the podcast. I think some guy in the Times hammered it with 1 star, and it was like, but the headline of his review, which I respect him for, was "It's not for me." And I thought, perfect.
Yeah, it is.
That's how you do it.
Yeah.
I once read a review for a comedian. I'll not dig them out, but it was a 1-star review for a comedian in Edinburgh at the Edinburgh Festival. And literally in the fucking review, the text was, I don't know what the 400 people in this room found so funny about this. And I was like, so you're admitting you're the only cunt not laughing?
Yeah.
In my life, I've had 2 lots of reviews. You've got to take a 1-star review. You go, I'll take it on the chin. If you've seen it and you've read it or you've experienced the thing and you don't like it, it is your right to say that you don't like that, especially if you're a reviewer, if you've got a platform, that's fine. You've got to take the rough with smooth. You've got to try not to worry about it.
Yeah.
Reviewers are, in many ways, the original trolls. Right? However, it's twice in my life I've had a bad review, and I've thought, you can fuck off, I'm not taking that.
Yes.
Once was the Amazon one. Wasn't even out. I hadn't bought it because it wasn't out, and they'd slated it. I thought, you can fuck right off, that's not fair. So it was on Facebook I did. I sent a message to all my friends on Facebook, and I said, look, this is really weird, but people are doing unfair reviews. Can you just go on and give it a nice review? If you've seen us live, go on and give it a nice review, is what I said.
Yeah, I remember.
The other time it happened, I was at the Edinburgh Fringe, and I used to go on, on the Fringe website, people could leave reviews. And I was getting all these good reviews for this show, and I was dead excited. I'm a bit neurotic with it. I was going on every day and checking it. Right? Like at the minute, I go on the podcast chart on Apple.
Do you?
Check that.
Do you read it? Do you?
Check there's only the reviews. I don't read the reviews, but I check the list and the top 10.
I'm a bit surprised you didn't see me in this.
I don't think I scrolled that far down.
Fucking shit house. What a shit house.
I'm joking.
He's just fucking cut me balls right off there. He's torn me another arsehole. Fucking hell.
And the other time, right, I'm totally joking. And so I would go on this Fringe website and I would look at my reviews because it was dead cool to get these nice things. And I got a 1-star review of a punter. It was a punter review, 1-star review. And I read it, and it said 1 star, absolutely disgraceful. The venue was very hard to find, and the rain made us late. And Chris Ramsey's latecomer policy means we weren't allowed into the show. 1 star.
Wow.
And I thought, you fucking didn't see. You got us 1 star because you couldn't find the venue. You tosser.
Mate, TripAdvisor's the best. I've seen people leave a 1-star review for your hotel because the weather wasn't very nice, or the beach. The beach in the resort wasn't very
unbelievable.
Nice.
Yeah.
The sand wasn't sand. Like, you know, on the beaches with no sand.
Bloody shingle. Unbelievable.
1-star review.
Yeah. So I emailed the Fringe website and I was literally like, all right, I was like, this is fucking weird. Chris Ramsey here. Look at this. This review isn't about the show. It's about the fact that the fuckers got lost and they couldn't get in because they were half an hour late. That was my latecomer policy now.
That's fucking amazing.
For an hour show, my latecomer policy was, if you're half an hour late, don't fucking let you in because you're going to disrupt the show and you've missed half of it. Wow. So they were over half an hour late to an hour-long show and they couldn't give me a 1-star review.
That's fucking incredible.
So I got it revoked. But that's only 2 times in my life that I've spat me dummy out for
And how do you deal with it now? Do you just
ignore it?
Do you?
Completely ignore it. I've got really zen. So Rosie's only just entered this world now of comments and negativity. Yeah. And I've developed a really thick skin over the years. Yeah. And I've developed a really don't give a fuck attitude about it. And now and then something will slip through the cracks and it'll fucking annoy us. But it's more that you can't battle ignorance. It's more that something will come in and it'll just be it'll just be wrong. It'll just be a stupid wrong thing where someone's got the wrong end of a stick or they're just being an idiot. Yeah. And I want to go, in a perfect world...
If someone criticises Rosie, would you take it even... Is that harder for you?
That's the only hard. Yes. So for years I didn't let Rosie in. Yeah. For years I didn't have her on me Instagram posts, on my Twitter. I kept her. I remember me and Rosie were living together and she sung with Ed Sheeran at the Customs House and Ed introduced her on stage as Chris's friend Rosie. Because he's very private as well, and he was like, look, not let anyone know he's together. Yeah. And I remember, I think quite rightly, Rosie was like, oh, Chris's friend, that was upsetting. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I know what you mean, but sometimes I say to her, look, this is why I didn't let you in, because some people are dicks. Some guy said the other day on Twitter, I think we sent some celebrities copies of the book, and one of them posted it out, and someone wrote underneath, it's always when someone else puts you out there. The people who don't follow you if they hate you. But it's when someone else mentions you. Yeah. And one of their followers is like, nah, fuck him, he's a twat. And you're like, oh, I didn't want to see that. I'm tagged in that. Untag us. It's horrible. Yes. But Rosie's picture, I think, was obviously on the front of the book and it came up and someone wrote underneath, it was like, she's desperate to be famous, it's pathetic. That's what someone wrote. Fucking hell. And I felt like, it's wrong. The thing that annoys us is it's wrong because she doesn't want to be famous. Yeah. If I had a quid for all of the stuff that Rosie turned down, I wouldn't have to accept any work.
Really?
Mate. She doesn't want to be famous. She does not want to be famous. She wants to do the podcast. We are getting offered shit left, right and centre now with this podcast. Yeah. She's very selective. She's knocking stuff back. We're getting offered to go on different shows together as a couple. Yeah. She's not. And I wanted, you get a dickhead in you where you want to reply to the guy and you want to go, literally, she's turned down more work money-wise than you probably earn in a fucking year. She's turned down. Yeah. But you don't want to, you're not going to be that twat. But she's just, it's just when they get it wrong. Yeah. That's the thing that upsets us. Someone's like, you're a twat, you're shit, you're rubbish, I don't like you, I hate your comedy. absolutely fine.
Yeah.
I got a bit in the new show where I was getting trolled. Strictly, when I did Strictly, they have a media meeting with you and they go, "Oh, look, you've got to be careful because there's trolls and they'll be nasty to you."
Yeah.
Oh, hey Chris, you shit dancer. I know. Next.
Thanks for noticing.
I know. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's when they're wrong. It's when it's something like, oh, you did. I remember one popular one on Facebook once. I was fucking raging.
I think Facebook's worse for it, I think. Facebook's it's a cesspit.
It's full of people's angry aunties.
It is.
It's full of people angry, racist aunties and uncles just kicking off about stuff. Genuinely, now Mambo's in Shields. Restaurant, lovely restaurant.
I was supposed to be going there on Friday. Lesley had organised a surprise 40th birthday. 40th the weekend, innit? Cancelled.
What?
Social distancing.
Oh, you joke, of course.
Cancelled,
mate. I'm so sorry, mate. And
I'm quite bad.
Really? Not fancy it?
Nah, not really.
No? Happy birthday.
Surprise 40th, I didn't drink. Everyone else would be pissed and just annoying the shit out of me.
That's actually horrible. Does she even know you? That's terrible.
Nah.
Divorce.
So
someone
I also caught her coming out the Brightland shop in the Metro Centre and I made her take the wash back.
What?
I started him on it.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't wear it. It doesn't count me steps.
You've got 2 on?
No, this is for me recovery and that.
Oh, okay.
This does me steps. But she said you can wear it when you go out.
Yeah. You don't go anywhere.
I was like, what, in 2023?
Yeah. Oh, but that'd be lovely as a little keepsake. Oh, she could have got something. But you made her take it back? What kind of Brightland was it?
Dunno.
Oh, I'll have to ask her after
One
this.
with the big chill now.
They're a bit big, the faces on Brightland.
The massive eye, the massive.
I've got a little girl.
She said, well, you're going to have to tell the woman I'm taking it back. And I did. She said, I'm not telling her, it's embarrassing. I said, I'll fucking come and tell her.
Wow.
It was a surprise and I ruined it.
Did you say, I'll have the money though?
I was in a Disney Star.
I'll have the money though. Yeah.
Have the money, so.
She should get you a big bottle.
And then she was like, why don't you get a new car? And then I was like, I always walk here every day. Wow. And she says, and then I was like, I think this is why I'm getting nearly 40. I'll just be buying a car to impress other people.
Yeah. Okay, fair. Very noble.
I think I'm going through a midlife crisis.
Simple man, I like it. But someone on Facebook said, it was a promoted post for one of my tours. So we got promoted on people's pages.
To people who don't follow you, yes.
Yeah. And it was just some like middle-aged lady, and she wrote, this man is an absolute arsehole. I'll never go and see him. I was in Mambo's once, and he was sitting, right? I was in Mambo's in South Shields, and he was sitting being extremely rude to all of the staff. A waitress came over and brought his food, and he said, "This is cold. Do you know who I am? I'm Chris Ramsey." He made her take it back and made her cry.
Oh my God, like, what?
That is so fucking wrong. Like, that is so wrong.
Wow.
One, Mambo's hosted the party for Robin's christening when Robin got christened. I know all the staff personally. I know the owners personally. It's a lovely place.
Yeah, it is.
Secondly, whenever I go there, I'm with Rosie. If you fucking think that Rosie would let me get away with any shit like that, she would make me cry. She'd flip the fucking table. She'd be like, how dare you speak to people like that, you arsehole. And thirdly, I'd fucking love to shout at someone and say, do you know who the fuck I am? I'm Chris Ramsey, that's cool. But cunts fucking say it and put it on the internet. That's why I'd never do it. In me head, don't get us wrong, right? Yeah. I've worked in service. I've worked in places, right?
Did you work in the Black Cats bar?
Lovely. I worked all
over. Brother-in-law said you worked in the Black Cats bar.
All over the Sunderland Stadium. I did.
Really?
I used to go like an hour and a half early from my shift to get a trolley because I worked at Box 52, which is the other end, past the skybox.
Yeah, that's mad.
A mile and a half to walk. I wrote about it in the book. I'd fucking love now and then for therapy to go, do you know what? I worked in service and this is what you're doing. You're fucking shit because you do get shit service. I never will because someone fucking sees you and reports it. I am the nicest man in the world in public, but I get home and if you give us a cold fucking soup, I'm slating you in my head. I'm slating you.
Soup?
But I'll never, whatever.
Mate.
I just picked it off the top of my head.
Soup? Do you have
whatever.
soup?
No, not when I'm out. No, I
like Heinz tomatoes.
But do you know what I mean, though?
Like, it's like flavoured water soup. It's not for me.
Hey, I was joking, aren't you?
I'm asking you something.
We asked this. Wait a
Really?
second, Paul Mort here. Heinz cream of tomato soup with a cheese toasty.
Oh.
There you go. I've got you back.
I've had 2 meals in one.
There you go. 2 meals in
That's
one?
like a dip.
That makes
it. No. Mate, that makes the sauce a dip. Like the soup is now a dip.
Right.
It's not soup, is it? It's a dip.
Yeah, but it's just
a tomato dip.
But it's amazing. You both...
It is amazing, but
there's two people in this room and you both fucking salivated when I said it, so you can fuck off.
I've got a question for you. We ask this on most podcasts, right? What do you think of mash?
Potato? Mm-hmm. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate mashed potato.
Of all the things you can do with potato.
It's so strange. I argue about Rosie with this all the time.
I've nearly sat 2 staff. Over fuck, I'm not even kidding. Mate, over mash?
I hate mashed potato and I hate baked potatoes.
Baked potatoes are all right. They're all right.
No, because it's just the
Out of
outside's
all of the-
good
and the middle's mash?
Shit.
The middle's mash.
Unmashed mash. Me and Rosie were on Saturday Kitchen the other week, and they said, "Do your food heaven and your food hell." Her food heaven was mash, and my baked potato, and my food hell was baked potato, and they made it.
My fucking guy there.
Honestly.
Hate mash. Overrated.
Fucking hate
One of the
mash.
most. You've got to add butter and cream to it to make it taste good.
You gotta have fucking shitloads of butter to make it taste
Think
good.
about all the things you
Shitloads.
can do with potatoes. Fries, fucking Hasselback. You ever had one of them?
What's a Hasselback?
Hasselback potato.
Oh my god, I've heard of this. What is
I
this?
thought you were man of the world.
I am, but I can't remember what it is.
Cosmopolitan
I
man.
keep thinking of
So
David
what they do
Hasselhoff.
is...
I
Or
get
Jimmy
distracted.
Floyd Hasselbank.
I get distracted.
So it's like a potato. It's like a roast potato, but it has slices all the way.
Yes, Rosie does them.
Fucking
They're
lush,
amazing.
aye,
I
lush.
knew it. Yeah, Rosie
You
does
can
them
do that.
regularly.
You can do wedges. You can do fries. You can do fucking roasties.
Yeah.
And you choose the fucking...
You choose to take the skin off. You choose to take the skin off, which is arguably the best bit when cooked, and then mash it up. And then if you've got to add cream, and it's just
Shite.
it's so boring.
Right, baby food.
Yeah,
Baby food,
I had
innit?
one the other night. So me and Rosie do Hello Fresh, and there was one the other night, and it was mashed potato, and it had red onion in it. That was all right.
I had one with pesto in and they left the skin on. It was nice.
Well, there we go. But I just, fuck it, man. I mean, I've had mashed potato where they do a baked potato and then they cut it in half and then they scoop all the inside out and then they mash it up and then they add the butter, then they put it back in.
The
and I think,
cheese.
so much effort. Just fucking chop it up and eat chips, man. So much effort.
I see.
Wedges.
See?
Even like the what is it? They're on
Slice.
Slimming World. They're on Slimming World. You can just chop a potato up, literally put some of that fucking 1 calorie spray on it in the oven. Lush.
Mate.
Mash. I can't believe you've said this. This is a massive bone of contention in our house.
It's terrible.
This is crazy.
We argue about it in the office all the time.
It's like that question was made for me. I love it. I'm so happy.
Well, ask it. Well, don't matter. Oh, the sparkling water. He reckons sparkling water makes your mouth dry.
It's the worst. It's the absolute worst. It's like a fucking hangover in a bottle. I hate it.
Mate, that's fucking...
It's like, hey mate, do you want to quench your thirst or do you want to fucking Alka-Seltzer? Like,
He says that.
Andrew's
Max
liver
says
salts.
that all the time.
Yeah. Can I have a pint of Andrew liver salts, please? Because I'm a head case.
Do you not like it?
I hate it so
Really?
much. Like to the point of where if someone hands us one, I'm like, weirdly, this happened the other day. We went out to do an event for Acast, who are our sort of podcast publisher kind of thing.
Oh, I remember Acast. I was in contact with Acast. The guy fucking stood me up for a call.
Really?
Aye.
Oh, well, let's not slag them off because, we love Acast and we work very close. Shag Mode United is part of the Acast Creator Network.
Is it?
Yeah. But they were doing a thing for me a day and the guy went and got a water and he came and he gave us it. And I cracked the bottle and I looked and I was like, that's sparkling. And I just handed him it back and he was like, oh, and Rosie was like, yeah, I'll just drink it. And I went, she might drink it out of politeness.
Yeah.
But on the way home, she's going to tell me I hated that sparkling water. So I'm just going to give it that back and please can I have it still. I can't bear it. I can't believe it's a thing.
Dude,
it's
really?
Fucking ridiculous. It's like something went wrong.
Do you know what? When I remember when, probably about 5, maybe 10 years ago, when you used to pick one up and people in Shields, if you bought it in a shop, they'd be like, you know that's fizzy, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I love that.
You know that's fizzy water, don't you?
Yeah.
It's mad. Dude, what's it like? I didn't want to ask you this question, but Lesley said I had to. What's it like being famous?
So this is really strange. I came up with an analogy for this the other day. I love my job and I love what I do and I think it's incredible and it's great. Being famous on the outside, I was really happy with this analogy. I hope you like it. This is the first time it's getting aired anyway, and I love an analogy.
I love an exclusive.
Being outside of fame and looking at famous people looks like it's the best thing ever.
Yeah.
It looks fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It looks fantastic. Mm-hmm. It looks like the best party in the world. When you get inside and when you get famous and you realise what it's like, you realise from the outside of the house it looked like the greatest party ever, but inside it's just like that bit in Home Alone where he's got loads of cardboard cutouts on trains.
Yeah.
It looks fucking rammed and it looks like the greatest party ever, but it's just a load of cardboard cutouts going around on trains. There's still music playing, it's still fun, and but it's not as good as you'd imagine it would be. But I've never tried to be famous, and Rosie doesn't want to be famous, and she is now because it's a byproduct of what happened, and now I suppose I'm in certain circles, but it's a byproduct of what you do.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Ricky Gervais put it perfectly. Someone asked him once, very controversially, but someone asked him once, what's your advice to anyone who wants to be famous? And he said, kill someone, murder someone.
Really?
Because he was in, I think I didn't really want to directly quote him, but I'm sure he said murder a prostitute, which is disgraceful.
That is, yeah.
But it's typical Gervais, hilarious and cutting and true, because who wants to be famous for the sake of being famous? It's mad. Surely you just want to do what you love, and then Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've said many times I'd rather just own I'd rather just own a fuckload of businesses and just be silent.
Yeah. But then you won't get to make people laugh.
That's
do you love making people laugh?
More than anything in the world. But you've asked us on a weird year because I haven't been able to make anyone laugh face to face. Like I've made you laugh here today, which is fun and lovely.
Yeah.
But I haven't been able to make people.
No, that is interesting. You can't see them laughing at you.
Yeah, for like 7 months, it's been strange. But I try not to dwell on it because with this whole situation, people are fearing for their lives.
Yeah.
So me going, I haven't been on a stage to polish my ego. It's like, back in the queue, dickhead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've never, like me and Rosie, we've never come out telling people what to do. We've never, when this all started, celebrities all came out and tell, wear a mask, stay home, do this, do that. I'll just let
I made a post this morning. I'm like, listen, watching people argue about COVID on social media is the new fucking Tiger King, innit?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not about that at all. We let the government tell people what to do, and we've just been continuing to do the podcast.
I mean, it's probably, you think about it, right? I think about this as well. It's opened up some opportunities. You may have lost that, but you've gained loads of other shit.
I just try and focus on the positives. Me and my son are best mates.
Yeah.
Best mate in the whole world.
Yeah.
And I went on tour 10 days after he was born. 10 days, he was 10 days old. She had a C-section, she could barely fucking move, and I had a tour booked in, and I had to go. And hindsight, I wish I'd moved it, but it was the DVD year, so it had to be shit hot and stuff. Yes. And I had Raw Variety that year as well.
Yeah.
So I had to do it, and he misses his loads.
Yeah.
And I've been home. Gonna burp off, mate. There.
2-0 to Chris. That all that's fucking sparkling water, mush.
Cut that out, will you? Please cut that. I've been able to bond hugely with him, and we're best mates now. It's amazing, and we've been able to. Me and Rosie couldn't get pregnant last year.
Yeah,
we tried, so we had the miscarriage a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
and then during Strictly we were trying, it wasn't happening. With Robin, once, bang, pregnant.
Really?
Yeah, 26, I think we were, bang, pregnant, done.
Yeah,
once, we had sex, literally once.
Wasn't the first time, was it?
It wasn't my first time. No, I'm joking. It wasn't my first time. It was the first kind of, shall we just see what happens?
Yeah.
Boom, immediately.
Yeah.
And then during Strictly we tried, during writing the first bit of the book and writing my show we tried. Lockdown happened. I was at home. We looked at the diary and thought, there's nothing in here, shall we? If there's anything. That's why there's going to be a baby boom. It's not because people are at home and they're shagging because there's now to do. It's because people have looked at their diaries and gone, fucking hell, if there's nothing to do here, you could be pregnant, you don't have to be fucking doing all them steps and blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we looked and we thought, go for it. Lockdown, I'd literally stopped. Boom. I don't know if you noticed, I haven't got any bags under my eyes, or do I have bags today?
No. Look fresh, mate. Look
fresh. I've
fresh.
had bags under my eyes for years. I've had big black fucking circles under my eyes. And because of all this, I'm not travelling as much. I'm not eating takeaway every single night. I'm not eating in service stations. I'm not eating in train stations. I'm not eating sandwiches with loads of fucking sauce.
You're not ordering pizza on a fucking train?
I'm not ordering pizza on a
Remember
train.
that?
I'm not having, I was just about to say I'm not having 6 beers a night, but I am having 6 beers a night. But I'm going out on my bike.
Yeah.
I've lost a bit of weight.
Yeah.
I'm healthier. Again, bang, once. During lockdown, we had sex once. Bang, pregnant. Crazy. And so there is the positives. You've got to look at them. You've got to look at them. Otherwise, you'd go, I mean, what is it? What date we've got today? I don't know when this is going to go out, but we are currently sitting and there's a Cobra meeting apparently happening now and there's going to be more restrictions. They're going to bang on about it. What's the point of worrying about it?
I'm covering my fucking eyes because I want to go to Dubai on Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I hope you can go to Dubai on Saturday, but what's the point in getting angry about it? Because they're going to do it. And you just got to, Robin's at school. He's gone back to school. My son is at school and he's a different kid, mate. Lockdown, he was a fucking prick.
Was he?
Because not through any fault of his own.
Yeah.
He was at home the whole time. He's like, why the fuck am I here with you all the time? Why can't we do this?
Probably bored.
Why can't I go swim? Why can't I go to the trampoline park? All these things I want to do.
Yeah.
4-year-old doesn't really get it. At home with us, constantly asking for his friends. That's the thing, actually. I'll tell a lie. He wasn't asking for swimming and trampoline park.
And he's not in the gaming and that yet, is he?
He's not. Well, we got him into it.
Did he?
Get him on the Switch. We've been playing Luigi's Mansion and fucking Mario Odyssey, and he loves it all.
Yeah.
But he's 4 and he can't be on it all the time.
Yes.
And it's just been horrible. And he's gone back to school last week, and mate, he's a different kid straight away.
Yeah.
He's his old self again. He's lovely. He's caring. He's just so lush.
Yeah.
And it's his mental health. It's his mental health, and he's back. And as long as this is going to sound so fucking, I'm going to sound like a selfish twat of a parent. But as long as they keep the schools open and he can keep going to schools, couldn't give two fucks about the rest of the thing.
I
Because
don't
I've
think
already had my full livelihood ripped away from me this year.
Yeah.
I've already had a Shag Marry Annoyed tour gone. We sold out Wembley in a day, you know.
Really?
We sold out Wembley Arena in a day for the Shag
Fucking
Marry
hell,
Annoyed
mate.
tour.
What are you even going to do on that tour, by the way? I was thinking about that. I was like, what are you going to do?
We're starting, it's a live podcast.
Yeah.
So we led Wembley 10,000 seats.
Yeah.
We sold it out. I say sold out, it's industry sold out, so it's on 90 fucking odd percent. So
Yeah.
it'll be on 9,500 seats.
Yeah.
It's unofficially the world record holder for the largest ticketed live podcast event ever. Unofficially.
Holy shit.
Because it won't be official till the day we do the gig.
Yeah.
Postpone it next
Fucking
year.
hell.
My 2020 tour, which I fucking
It might be
named-
totally different now when you've got two kids, though.
You never know. Well, at least Rosie can drink on this one because she was pregnant. She'll be pregnant. It should have been, we should have been, I don't know what date it is, but we should have been on tour now. Yeah, we should have been, it'll be somewhere on the old poster. We should have been on tour with a Shag Marry Annoyed tour right now.
Shit.
So, that's gone. Thank God for the podcast and the book.
Yeah.
Otherwise, this would have been if this whole COVID thing had happened any other year, it would have fucking ruined us.
Yeah. It probably would have because
100%.
like there would have been no relief because you're not
100%.
employed.
Yeah.
You're not employed.
Yeah.
You haven't got an office.
100%.
Yeah.
Cars. I think they did a thing where they pay your mortgage.
Yes.
The mortgage house would have been
Yes.
fine.
Yes.
Both cars would have had to go.
Really?
It would have fucking crippled us.
Shit, you might have to sell your Lego.
Never. Never in a million years.
Mate, that's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, so, but that's the thing.
So it's when you're talking about luck.
Yeah, and I'm so lucky that I had the podcast and the book to fall back on, which is why I haven't been out there. Bring the theatres back. Because at the end of the day, yes, bring the theatres back, but I'm not going to stand fucking shouting on about it because there's other things. Do you know what I mean? I feel so bad for every comic out there and every theatre performer.
Who only has that.
But then for every other industry, there's someone who only has that.
Yeah.
And it's just such a ridiculously complex thing. But like I say, sounding like a selfish parent, I've already had everything stripped away this year that could have been. Thank God for the book and the podcast. Sound like a selfish parent. As long as they keep them schools open and then my little boy can go to school every day for his mental health and he's learning and his development, I'll stay in the fucking house if I have to.
Yeah.
I don't fucking want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to at all.
Yeah.
But if they decide I have to, and I can still take him to school and then come back and probably fuck me, I hope I can go on my bike as well.
Aye.
I will, because his mental health is my mental health now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You take all that.
Yeah. I can't go on stage. I can't do all of that. What can I do? I've had to take a hit for that. I can't do it.
Yeah.
As long as he is happy, I'm happy.
I love it, mate.
Yeah.
I love it. Mate, what a fucking way to end the podcast.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, mate. Thank you for coming on.
We'll do one of them.
Chris Ramsey.
Dubai.
I am Dubai. I love it.
My hand. I'll tell you my routine after this about shaking hands, you dirty bastard.
Oh, I love it. Hey, guys, before Chris goes, listen, Chris, where can we find out more about the tours and that? Where can we find out?
Shag Marry Annoyed.
We can get the book on Penguin Books, Amazon.
Yeah, so
Half
the book
price
is
W.H. Smith.
half price W.H. Smith. The book is out now. The new version with Sunday Times #1 bestseller written across the top will be coming out soon.
Oh, is that the new thing? Is it?
It's just a reprint. It's exactly the same inside. People may have spotted a couple of spelling mistakes that have been fixed. That's out. The book is out now. Shag Marry Annoyed tour. There's a few tickets left for the odd venue, Wembley, some back corners, single seats maybe left. That's hopefully happening in 2021. Chris Ramsey Comedy 2021. If you want to see, if you want to hear the Shag Marry Annoyed podcast, go to where Paul's is on the chart and scroll way up, way up. Your finger will start hurting. Stick with it. Keep going. Go again. Stop. Go and hydrate. Come back. Keep scrolling. You'll be right at the top.
I fucking love it, mate. I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chris Ramsey. Thank you, mate.